share a message about this, so gift of true parents. So let's reflect. What do you think you received from true parents? What gift you think you received? Blessing, yes. Anyone else? What I got from true parents? Truth, right? Okay. Anything else? Love, yes. And more? 천심원, yes. Thank you. Anyone else? Pastor Shujika. Your life, right? All our lives from true parents, right? Thank you. So all those things we can reflect, and really, when you see true parents, right? That's the fruit of God's providence of 6,000 years, isn't it? Right? God sent Jesus Christ as a second Adam, but He couldn't fulfill everything, so He had to promise for second coming, and we see Father Moon, Mother Moon as that returning, right? The Messiah, completing the God's providence. So we have to think about then what's the God's providence really, right? So if we think about true parents' gift, is really reserving, right? And then allow us to go back to the original state of Adam and Eve, right? And be stand before God as a pure children of God. That's where we want to go back. That's our wish, isn't it? That's our wish. We want to have a direct dominion with God, so we can really converse and have that parent-child relationship we want to seek. So to understand that, then we have to think about, okay, what true parents trying to do? That's what true parents trying to give us, right? That must be the gift true parents giving us, right? And the visitors. So let's think about that. In that sense, then what was the consequence of a human fall? We have to think about, right? What was the consequence of a human fall? So after human fall, we became children of Satan, right? And then many Bible quotes mention about that. Jesus said that you are of your fathers, the devil, right? And Bible was called that Satan, the ruler of the world. John 12:31, right? So there's many quotes. So we can recognize that, okay, so due to the human fall, we became, right, children of Satan, and we can have a relationship with evil, right? But our heart is pursuing going back to heavenly parents, right? That's our heart. That's the religion come out, right? That's we follow this like a Messiah should we follow and care. So then, really, the heavenly parents want to have that. Right after the fall of Adam and Eve, God started the providence restoration right away, isn't it? God started right away from Adam's family, and He really wished that all the humankind, His children, can come back to original state. So providence restoration refers to God's work to restore human beings to their original and unfallen state, so that they may fulfill the purpose of creation. That is all the meaning of the providence of restoration, right? So if we reflect, then we can see really what true parents is preparing, and then prepared and then gave it to us, bestowed to us as a pure treasures, like a precious gift of true parents, right? So do you think that we are receiving wholesome of that God's gift of true parents, or we are missing some? I want to really reflect that. Yeah, we received that blessing. Someone said, right? Yes, we received the blessing. We received the truth, right? But why are we still struggling? Did you think about that? Why are we still struggling? Something else. Did we receive the wholesome, the gift of true parents, or we are missing something, right? If we received all, we really unite with true parents, that our life should be already different, isn't it? Our children should be different already. Our world should be different already. But still, we somehow strive, right, to reach the original state. Even we receive the blessing, we know that removed original sin. Still, we are striving, right, trying to go back to the state. What are we missing? Did the true parents miss something? They didn't give us something? Or we didn't receive the wholesome gift of a true parent? So I'd like to reflect that today. Okay? So after human fall, what happened then? It must restoration. So God's providence restoration is restoring humankind to the original state before the fall. And after fall, what happened? Divine principle teaching, what kind of sin, right? Humankind cultivate after that. So in the divine principle, it talk about this sin, right? Sin is a violation of heavenly law, which is committed when a person forms a common base with Satan, thus setting a condition for give and take action with him. So sin can be classified into 4 categories: original sin, and then hereditary sin, and then collective sin, and individual sin. So really, if we want to really kind of go back to the original state, right, as a pure, unfallen, the man and woman before God, then we have to get rid of these old sins, right? So think about, okay, Stephen said that I received a blessing. That take care of first sin. What about other sin, right? How we can resolve the other sin then? Did you think about? Then as a Messiah, true parents should give us idea, direction to take care of the other sin then, right? So let's think about that together. So 4 types of sin. This is what divine principle describe. Original sin. What's original sin? Right? The Adam and Eve committed the original sin, and that kind of led to our a human fall, right? And we learn about this, and then we know. And the way to cleanse the original sin is what? The marriage blessing, right? We all know that. Many of you, most of you went through that step and completed. It has 5 steps, right? Marriage blessing. What is that? Holy wine ceremony to make the reverse, right? Signifies or reverse the mistake. And so when you have a holy wine ceremony, woman go first, right? Receive holy wine and give it to husband. Husband receive, right? So kind of reversing that the course of a fall. And the second, what you have to do? You have to attend the blessing ceremony, right? Blessing ceremony, becoming that blessed couple before heaven, before God. And then you do chastening ceremony, right? Do you remember chastening ceremony? I heard from my parents, right? They hit so hard. So that's swollen for like a week, right? But that can indemnify all the mistake. And I'm the condition to forgive, right? My spouse. Whatever happened, we can start new. And next you start a 40-day separation, right? To purify, become the original, the man and woman. And then after 40 days later, you do 3-day ceremony, right? That also rituals to really reverse that course of the fall. And then really building that pure relationship with the heavenly parent and as God's true sons and daughter. That's the marriage blessing. And many of us also did a blessing ceremony for your people, right? You bless people, you do a child messiahship. So that part, I know that everyone clear what that mean and then how that impacted my life. I all experienced. What about hereditary sin? Right? That's for example, good example can be like a Jewish people, right? So this one, no, not that one. That's the sin. That's the sin, the inherit from our ancestor. So how gonna resolve that one then? I didn't do. I have nothing to do, but my ancestor, right, made the sin. That cascade down through your lineage, and then you have to take care of it. How you should do? Any idea? Yeah, right. That's why true parents lay down the foundation of Chongpyeong, so that we can cleanse our ancestor through liberation, through blessing. Even you try to fix that here, but if you don't go back to the origin and then resolve that issue, then it's going to be continue, right? You cannot fix that unless you address the cause of that resentment, right? Someone, maybe our ancestor made a mistake and left a big resentment on the one person. And there is so vigorous and that the person cannot really forgive. That kind of a resentful heart will continue to cast down to next generation, right? That's why true parents like introduce that ancestor liberation. I will go more detail, but that's the one of the reason we have to think about, right? Hereditary sin. What about collective sin? I didn't do anything, right? Like Jewish people, some priest, right? Or what's that? Yeah, some priest or scribe, maybe they persecuted Jesus and sent cross. But the people of right, Israel, the Jewish people have to go through the indemnity course, right? Think about what happened to the family, what happened to the people until 1948, May 14, 1948, they finally founded, right? The country, their country called like State of Israel, right? That was established just in 1948. Until that, they didn't have their own land, their own country. Also, all the Holocaust, right? How many people died? 6 million people executed during the time. All that kind of indemnity course. So it's very important to understand God's will, right? Also fulfilling our responsibility so that we don't repeat that. Also through this indemnity course of true parents, right? We know that was like paid through that course of true parents. And what about then the individual sin? Individual sins, maybe that's sin I made, right? I made a mistake. I robbed the bank. You got to go to jail, right? For example, right? But many people also experience something else. I don't know why I'm so hot-tempered. I cannot hold my anger somehow, right? Somehow, like some person has a very severe kind of mental issue or some spiritual issue, very abusive. I'm trying to do myself, right? Go to like a mental hospital or maybe seeing the psychology, but still going on. Someone is have an extraordinary like desire in the sex, for example, right? And raping people, right? That kind of thing happen. It can be just sin, but there's something else going on. Isn't it? So, to address those, right? True parents have to guide that too. Because there's a 4 different classification of the sin, right? And the true parents address the first one, right, through marriage blessing. But he still have to lead, find a way, provide a way to resolve the other 3 sins, right? So many of us, very clear, blessing, everyone know, blessing, we know. But how many of you us really know, understand the 청평 providence? So I'd like to share a little bit today. So whether we fully understand all, but at least let's study together, right? What true parents prepared for us, how they are guiding us to be able to cleanse all 4 types of sins. Otherwise, there's no way. We cannot go back to original state. If when you address your original sin, there's the other 3 sins is influencing you, affecting you, right? Make a problem in your family, in your descendant, right? Hereditary sin gonna cascade down, right? And your spiritual problem may affect your children too, cascade down. So you have to really see how we can address that. So, to me, like one of the most beautiful gift I can think of, out of all the blessing and all the truths, all the life we give in, one of them, I really see the 청평 providence. Now called, right? 효정, Heaven and Earth, Chombo Training Center. Most precious gift brought by true parents. Right? How many of you know about 청평? How many of you have been there? Raise your hand if you've been there, 청평, right? It's a beautiful place. And true father was seeking the place since 1960s. So here, true parents' grand vision was to make 청평 into hometown of all people, a place to which all humankind come in order to reborn as a clean and ideal human beings of creation. This was possible once they could separate themselves from all the evil spirits which had come to be in their bodies. And once they could eradicate their hereditary sins and individual sin and wash off all their fallen nature. So Cheongpyeong was founded to help us to take care of the other three sins, right? So at the beginning, you can see it was like nothing, just land. And True Father and all the elders, right, start digging. And they made the first building. How long it took? 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, they made the first building. So they whether rain or day or night, they just keep working. So 2 weeks they made, and then they had the first workshop with 28 Christian pastors. And since then, it has established itself as a training center, prayer center, and the Mecca for Faith of Unification Church, right? So that's the time. One building, right? 1971, I think they founded the first building and Cheongpyeong Training Center. Since then, 52 years, right? Passed. Let's look at it right now. What happened now? So let's review this video. What a beautiful place now, right? I really wish that everyone can go. 2025, they will complete Cheonwongung, right? Everything. Hopefully everyone can go and really enjoy that, right? The fruits of this true parent investment for us, right? Okay. So, let me see. Yeah, so after that, so really that the foundation of Cheongpyeong grow, right? And then at the time, you remember Hunmonim, right? Lay down all the buildings and foundation. And true parents' wish is not just a one-time thing, right? They have to establish the system. Even true mother no longer here, there should be system to continue do the great work, right? To do blessing for ancestors as well. So they made it, lay down the foundation so that we can continue, our descendant or anyone who haven't finished their ancestral liberation can continue to walk. So that's the foundation true parents made. And true mother said, from now on, you have to raise your standard of life, of faith, and of heart. According to your gratitude and sincerity to heaven, you will experience amazing growth and development through the Cheongpyeong Training Center. This is a place where you can actually experience heaven walking with you. And true mother also said, the spirit world has until this point followed this far. It has taken 6,000 biblical years to get to this moment. What a long period of time. Its spirit world is filled with the fallen history. The fallen people do not know God's providence, but thanks to true parents, we have received the marriage blessing and blessed family. Are you aware of the providence, or are you ignorant of the providence? If we are aware of it, my hope then is that all of you can liberate all your ancestors and lead them to marriage blessing. And I hope you can accomplish this mission of making your ancestor absolute good spirit. That's true parents' guidance, right? So this wasn't easy. My parents were also not easy. Jinson's parents wasn't easy. We only started when you find out, when you need help, we started actually. When one of our child was sick, we had to go to Cheongpyeong, try to meet Hunmonim to get answer. But they saying you have to do this ancestor liberation so that they can help us. We didn't have any foundation, so we had to just use our credit card to lay down the 8 lineage, right? 8 lineage, 8 line. You have to put that 1 through 7 generation. That's the most like a effort, right? In terms of finance as well. So we did that, and we did the foundation. We help our parents to continue that ancestor liberation blessing. So every year after tax return, we're sending money to Korea to help our parents, because it's not easy thing, right? It's not just one time instant thing you can do. You have to do throughout your life continually. So we have to really think about ancestor liberation and blessing. How much of you really be serious, right? As True Mother called, do you understand the providence of restoration, right? And also to do that, it's not just marriage blessing I receive. I have to bless our ancestors. So like you're in the position, you're becoming first root of your lineage, right? Your clan's lineage. You have your physical children, you're going to have this lineage, right? Line going on. But you also have to in charge of your ancestor. 1 through 7 generation, 8, right? Next generation. So they can be also connected through you. So you are in the tipping point. Your physical children, descendant line, also your spiritual ancestor line. So both of them will be connecting through you, right? That's the ancestor liberation and blessing. So True Mother said, we have the responsibility to liberate the spirit world. This is the reason we have to do ancestor liberation blessing. It's only possible in Cheongpyeong. By liberating our ancestors in spirit world, we can resolve that hereditary sins, right? So actually the slide I'm using today, I got from Cheongpyeong. I mentioned some times ago, right, during one of the sermon, that we had so many challenging issues in our life. And then that time, Jinsun go to Cheongpyeong to attend that and then workshop to pray and then resolve that kind of challenge. So last time she went with Jaden and we pray. She offering condition 120 baht condition for our children, another 120 baht condition for our church. Right? She's doing every night, but as you know, Cheongpyeong schedule is so busy. So 10:30 maybe Cheongpyeong schedule end, and she's starting her condition. So she's starting 120 baht. If you try, it takes about 25 minutes, right? 20 to 25 minutes. So she do 2 times, meaning that she may finish by 11:30. Sometimes she couldn't do physically, so she couldn't miss it the day before. Then she do indemnity, so she does more. So security guys came and then seeing her doing the bow condition, and the person cannot intervene. It's time's over, you have to go. The person couldn't. So just waiting outside, right? And while she's doing the condition, then Jaden fell asleep, right? What are you gonna do, right? He just fell asleep. Then after the condition around 11:30 or midnight, she piggybacked Jaden and then climb up the hill to go to like a sleeping place. And then the vice president of Cheongpyeong saw her, because there's so many security camera, and he's just seeing this beautiful second gen doing this condition for family and for church, right? And then later he found out, this is wife of a Minnesota church pastor. So, and then whenever he see her giving money, hey, it's $100 money, $50 money. Whenever see them just giving the money. So last time when I went to Cheongpyeong, I really appreciate and then visit him. And he said that I really wish that our members, especially American members, understand that Cheongpyeong providence. Right? In Korea, people right there, they can easily go and get the training and workshop. But people in America, it's not easy, right? How many of you attended the 40-day workshop? Raise your hand. Maybe less than 10 or 10 people, right? How many of you finished the ancestor liberation blessing? Your parents finished, right? So about half of us, right? So still, we don't understand fully what that means of ancestor liberation blessing. So the president called all the lecturer, hey, you guys prepare the USB drive and then put all your presentation, lecture slide. So he was giving to me, right? When you have a chance, please share with your members so they can understand the meaning of this Cheongpyeong Providence. So I got lots of presentation files I was sorting out. I cannot give a whole, right? But at least to give you intro of this meaning. So that's why I was preparing in the morning. Okay? So ancestor liberation and blessing, right? We've been through, and then we also attended. Also, for the great works, right? We used to be able to do through the online, but now you can actually go to Cheonsimon, Las Vegas, right? Attend there. You can attend the ancestor liberation and blessing there too. So what a blessing! We used to have to go to Korea, right, or only online, but you can experience that as well. And the process of ancestor liberation blessing is you bless that. There's a training center in earth, right? That's a Cheongpyeong training center. In heaven, there's also training center. So once you bless spirits or your ancestor, liberate your spirit, the spirit or ancestor, the ancestor will be going to training center in spirit world for 100-day workshop. So they attend the 100-day workshop in the spirit world, and then becoming absolute good spirit, right? And then come down to receive a blessing. So receive a blessing, and then they go back to training center in spirit world and attending 40-day family workshop. After 40 days, you guys do welcoming, right, ceremony for your ancestor who received all this blessing. And then after that, they come down and join, and then becoming absolute good spirit, where they will really protect you, help you, be with you. Because I experienced that in our family. We had, like I mentioned before, big car accident. My car rolled 3 times, right? There's so many spiritual phenomena happened before and after, right? Also, when you buy a new house, we made a contract, but we have to fulfill it because we saw some spiritual being there, right? So also when we went to Cheongpyeong, sometimes we have a pain on your leg. You cannot walk. But as soon as you submit the application of ancestor liberation, then free of the pain suddenly. Many experience we had. So whenever we dream something, we cannot ignore, right? Oh my God, we have to spend the money, send the money to Cheongpyeong, but we cannot ignore because we experience in our life. As we practice this one, you will experience more, right? Think about someone come for your 찬양 session. I know that many of us come in the 찬양 session. Some people just come once and then not coming, right? Some people come all the time. If you compare the people who comes every time to 찬양, you will see the difference. When I attend more and more the 찬양 session, I feel like more like kind of feeling, liberating feeling. And that's the one, like a testimony also, so guidance from Cheongpyeong. So once you finish all your ancestor liberation, they are ready. They are absolute good spirit. They want to help you. But many of us stop there. I liberated ancestor. I'm done my mission, right? I did my condition. And your ancestor want to help you. So when you do 찬양, they are right beside you. Right? When you do 찬양, they help you to remove the evil spirits. Or even you received the blessing, even you did all other things, mission and providence, but you also have to take care of yourself. Because we have to take care of the other 3 sins. Many of them influenced by evil spirit. So true friends making way, liberating even your evil spirit in Cheongpyeong. Why all those things happen? To help us. But if we ignorant, we don't care, then even you blessed all your beautiful, absolute good spirit, right? Your ancestors cannot help you. Do you know why you singing when you do 찬양? right? I'm telling member, you have to sing loud and then clap, right? Big. Why you do that? When your ancestors come here, right? Absolute good spirit beside you, trying to remove the evil spirit, that evil spirit will accuse. I don't want to go because of this guy, that guy, right? So singing loud is like a shut up kind of thing. Be quiet. Sing, right? Then the absolute good spirit cannot hear all the complaint, just to walk, right? And really remove that evil spirit. And then after that ancestor become absolute good spirit, that's why we have this Hyojong one, right? Hyojong one. This is a house for absolute good spirit. So you can experience the dwellings of your ancestor in your home as well. That's why this ancestor, the Hyojong one, was created. If we understand this what happened, why true parents providing this, all makes sense to me. So removing that evil spirits through 찬양 works. Most of us experience that, right? At least once, isn't it? How was it? Some people doing like this. And our sisters always coming to the 찬양 session, they do like this, right? Why we have to do this one? Do you know? Right? So we tapping through the 찬양 session, this making your spiritual like a kind of a body. Your hands become spiritual like a healer. When you tap, it take more evil spirit out. So when you do, so why those evil spirit inside us, right? The evil spirit who have resentment toward our ancestor are inside our body to reserve their resentment. The resentment, the resentment they had is not go away until there's some indemnity condition coming, right? Or there's some reservation coming, right? Until that feeling, that resentment still continue. And you die, those evil spirits will go to your next generation, right? It's continue, unless you address and reserve it, right? So to do that, we do ancestor liberation blessing, and also through your 찬양 session, the evil spirit living in your body can be liberated directly. So that's why 찬양 session is really important. And when you do, right, your absolute good spirit, you blessed, you liberate, they will absolutely come and help you as well. So even like our individual sin, right? So you have lots of let's say evil spirits and resentful spirit in your body, for example. Then Satan can have a give and take action with your evil spirit, and then make the person commit kind of sin as well. Like I'm anger. Those people like anger, crazy, killed someone. Many people say, I don't know why I did, right? There's many cases that happen. Greedy, someone like obsessed money, right? Obsessed like a success of like my career only, right? Also like a rhetoric, kind of like a more sexual, like I don't know, like committing like sexual sin or like obsessed desire, right? So cannot control that kind of thing as well happen. Sins, pains, all those things can be caused by the evil spirit we have. Do you know how many evil spirits in our body? Throughout the 6,000 years of history, right? All accumulated. Whatever the resentful heart our ancestors created, that's created like the descended to next generation, more and more. We're going to have it. So ancestor liberation and 찬양 session we do together, right? When you do 찬양 session, your ancestor liberate your evil spirit as well. Also, they also liberate, right? Liberated in the spirit world as well. This is one of explanation in Cheongpyeong. So evil spirit in your body is not like a very small, tiny, like I don't know, grains or of sand. That kind of small piece of I don't know. It's kind of a spiritually that open eye. The person has spiritual eye, seeing that way, and in our body. So when you do this 찬양 tapping, right after the 찬양 hand clapping, then it will like taking out those evil spirits. And this is how the Cheongpyeong explained. And actually, one of like a psychologist, the doctor, what is that? Dr. Sakuntara Mold. So he wrote this book. He's not a church member, but he also experienced that many people suffer from illness that have no apparent cause or no obvious cure. So he found that many of these patients under hypnosis claimed to have spiritual attached to their bodies and energy field, creating this kind of problem and physical problem. And he did lots of research and patient and interview. The person also found that patient described that the both earthbound and demonic entity, the spirits, are arranged in many, many layers in your body. Many, many layers in your body. Somehow what they found described is the same as what Cheongpyeong was explaining. So layer of evil spirits, we all have it. Right? Some of us, maybe you have a good ancestry, maybe much easier, right? Not big problem. Some of us having problem, I don't know why we having this kind of problem, right? 90% problem also caused by this spiritual kind of influence as well. Somehow no unknown illness happening, right? Right? Sometimes like suddenly sick, suddenly have a heart problem. Many of them could be your physical issue, just that happened, but also could be influenced by this evil spirit. That's why we hear lots of testimony. After Chanang session, after that attending 4-day workshop, many of them like a healing. As I mentioned, I went to Cheongpyeong. One of a brother, Japanese brother with a eczema, like it's a kind of water coming out from the body. I was so scared. He was itching every time and then pushing me away. Don't come to me, right? And then I had a weekend workshop. 2 months later, I come back again. He was in Cheongpyeong. But amazingly, his whole body now clean. I saw by with my eyes. So that's why I really see that kind of explanation is not just a story. It's really happening and can happen to each of us as well. Also, that medical perspective, that chanang, right, tapping, really help your blood flow and energy flow as well. So around the body, you're tapping this one. And many of us, like, the cancer cell, it's by design, it's happening, right? All your body, it's accumulated, right, and grow. But when you through the chanang session, it will also really healing that, right? Also better blood flow as well. And then your muscles. And then healing, and you can bring the energy and blood to the vibration and cleanse that body from toxin and disease. So that's the chanang session we have to understand. So I wish that when you have like a great walk, we do chanang session here, experience that. Maybe one time you may feel like, I don't know, this doesn't work for me. But consistently coming, then you will find that all the people coming here for several years, they don't miss things. They always come. Why? We already did it 10 times already, but keep coming because we see the benefit. If we don't see the benefit, why I'm stop doing? But we see the benefit. That's why more people coming, the more coming, more attending. So look at all this like chanang session throughout the world. So one day I was there, and then one brother, one woman, one man, one woman came to our church building and asking about what's your church. I will have some conversation. Do you do deliverance? Do you do spiritual healing? Yeah, we have a 52 years of history, right? Some people like saying, we have a deliverance prayer and that we heal. But, right, with our foundation in Cheongpyeong, we've been doing for 52 years. We just need to pay attention and participate and then really use your absolute good spirit in your life. The people who intentionally attend and doing things, later on it will be different because they really receiving the pure, beautiful gift of true parents as a wholesome, not just picking. Okay, I like this one. I only take this one. Ignore all, right? But there's an intention and purpose of all the foundation true parents lay down because there's 4 different sins. Unless you cleanse, unless you reserve that issue, you cannot really go back to original state. Even you receive the blessing, still you're gonna struggle. You're gonna find the hot temper issue. You're gonna argue with your spouse, fight with the people, right? I cannot hold my temper, kind of thing, right? Your relationship always challenged because of that kind of situation. Why that's gonna happen, right? Still, there are remaining things we have to address. And true parents already gave us all solution and gift right? How we can handle all those. So this is up to us. I know it's not easy, spiritual thing, right? I don't see it, but you do it, try it, experience it, then you will find that, wow, this is a precious, most precious gift is actually Cheongpyeong, right? You can see Africa tours, America tours, and now we have this Cheonsimon in Las Vegas. You can go there and they have the 7-day workshop. Anytime, every month they have a workshop. And we also have we attending that great work from our church, like education room. We also do Chanyang, experience that kind of a healing as well. So I really want to invite everyone, right? There's a lot of mission we did, lots of things, external thing we did. I want everyone to receive this benefit, your internal thing, right? You think I'm done, everything, I'm good, but who's going to take care of yourself, right? Who's going to take care of your evil spirit you have? Who's going to take care of the challenge I have myself with a hot temper, right? Angers, that causing the problem, the relationship I have with my children, relationship I have with my spouse, or the brother and sister. I hear many things here too. Someone complained another person. He did that, she did that. Why we calling, right? We are living in the era of Cheonilgu. Why we continue to experience this? Because we didn't receive that, the wholesome gift of true parents. Isn't it? So this is one of the testimony. Dr. Kitters, right? He was in the hospital. His heartbeat, he's kind of losing consciousness, and then about to go to spirit world. And he was admitted to the ICU. And then Dr. Yong actually reported to Cheongpyeong. And True Mother said that contact the training center, have a wish paper written, and ask a medical angel to be mobilized. After receiving this instruction, Reverend President Lee offered wish paper and have their prayer. Due to the clinical condition, heart rate continued to dropping, and then doctors continued shouting, "How are you?" Right? Trying to save the person using that like a defibrillator, that electric device, right? Right? He was using it, and after using 2 times, amazing miracle happens, and he was go back to the normal kind of a heartbeat, and he was saved. Another example is this is one of the Japanese members attended the Purification Azalea Festival in May, and they offered wish paper, really want to receive a precious child of heaven. After return to our home country, we conceived a child right away. Until then, I have been unable to get pregnant at all for long period at all. And I felt so thankful for the blessing that true parents had given. So if you go to the Cheongpyeong website, even Cheonsimon website, there's lots of testimony. Even you cannot understand all. If you see the people testify the benefit, then you cannot deny that. And because that's prepared by heavenly parents for us to go back to that original state fully, right? So let's think about that. So this Cheongpyeong, really true parents created this beautiful place, the hometown, homeland, right, of humankind they called, and created system. Even they no longer here, they wished we continue, right, follow this step so that all humankind can really go back to original state before the fall. Not just original sin, but all other sin can be cleansed so that we can really realize that beautiful kingdom of heaven on earth and heaven. So many of you go like a physical check, right? It's a they call it prevention care, right? Have you been there? Every year go see doctor? Prevention care, right? And checking your annual checkup. You do that physically. Like going to Cheongpyeong is like a spiritual, your prevention care to me, right? You don't have a problem now. You don't see I don't need that. I don't see any need of that. It's like a prevention care. You go to Cheongpyeong, address that so that it's prevent from your big issue you may have in the future, right? So that's why this Cheongpyeong and this workshop is important. Jinsun went to 8 times of a 40-day workshop, 8 times, and I want you guys to At least go. Now we have a Chunsimon USA 7-day workshop every month. Line up, right? Go there. Join that 찬양 session. Invite your ancestors. Really experience that. So that all the sin we inherit from our ancestors can stop. All the resentment, right, from our ancestors or evil spirit can be dissolved. If we do 3 generations, and Father said that after 3 generation, it will be different. Right? So you did that, it's not enough. Our second gen, you think that I don't have original sin, but we have to go. We still have evil spirit. I still have a temper. I still have a lots of trouble, problem, right? So through that session, through the workshop, through that spiritual, the walk, we can also take care of that. So what true parents prepared, we can receive the whole gift, not the piece gift, right? Whole gift we can receive and be better and help our life as well. That's the wish of true parents. That's why true mother asking, you have to do ancestor liberation blessing. Come to Cheongpyeong for the workshop, right? And listen to all the people sharing their testimony as well. So it's time for us to receive the gift of true parents fully and take care of ourselves as well. We invest so much for providence and all that external thing. Who's going to take care of you? Yourself, right? So do that. Take care of yourself through this workshop, through the 찬양 session, through the ancestor liberation blessing. That will all help you and also your descendant. It's going to be most precious gift for your children too, isn't it? You take away this problem from ancestor. We stop, right? Deserve that, liberate all that things. So the children doesn't need to do. They have a better life. All the evil spirit influence can stop, right? Let's do. So again, I really see that this is a wholesome gift from true parents. And then to really go back to original state, we have to take care of all 4 different types of sin. And the Cheongpyeong is one of the core, precious gift to help us to be able to go back to original state. So let's really have a heart of gratitude and attend and really do our best, right? And give the purified atmosphere and our spiritual self to our next generation. Okay? Thank you, everyone.